stuff. Call of Duty lobbies, it was acceptable to say freaking slurs and stuff like that. And like I said, I'm not saying that any of this stuff was okay, but it was just the point in time that like people were living. Like nobody was really getting offended by that stuff, you know? And I feel like now dark humor is doing like a whole 360 because, bro, have you seen IG Reels comments? I know a lot of people don't really scroll through Instagram Reels. They usually scroll through like TikTok or something, but I've been scrolling through IG Reels a lot lately. And one thing I've been seeing are a lot of kids on my like Instagram Reels page. You know how on TikTok back then, like you would just see like a random kid doing something on TikTok and like a lot of people just like it because they're like, yo, what is going on? Like this is kind of funny. Well,
Yo, hold on. So we're gonna get right back to the video. But if you want to know how to draw or paint like me, hit the like, hit the subscribe. If you want to support your boy and buy some of my merch, you know, I got information on that down in the description below. You can check out my store. I also got some new music coming out this Friday. So tap in, tune in, show some love. I appreciate you, and let's get right back to the video. Hey yo guys, what's happening? It's your boy Araine TJ back again with another reaction video, and today we getting into why everybody hates King Bash. This is not my opinion, this is the opinion of Cameron. So we're gonna put the original down in the link to his original video down in the description below. You feel me? Hit the subscribe, hit the like, show some love, so support. If you like the drawings to the side, if you like my artwork, you could do the same for me, you know what I mean? It's just a couple taps, like and subscribe. Once I hit like 2,500 or 3K, then, you know, I'm gonna probably just cool off of the reaction videos and just focus on art.
am I the only one who thinks that King Batch was genuinely funny back in 2015? Now I know that there's like a huge King Batch hate train going on right now saying that King Batch was never funny, King Batch was corny, King Batch set black people back all the way to slavery. But what if I told you that that's not even the real reason why people hate King Batch? What if I told you that there's a greater reasoning to why people dislike that man so much? And by the end of this video, you're gonna find that reason. Now first and foremost, where did all this hate for King Batch even come from? I mean, I feel like every single year there's a King Batch Vine that goes viral on Twitter and all the comments are in uproar saying that King Batch set black people all the way back to segregation. Like, it's actually wild. A few weeks ago, there was like this whole situation in Montgomery, Alabama, where there was like this huge fight at a boating dock. And after the whole situation, like everyone started making memes.
Oh yeah. Y'all remember this? Montgomery Borough. Yo, that song was crazy.
About it. I mean, a dude swam across the lake just to fight. Somebody got hit with a chair. Some dude threw his hat up in the air and like a bunch of people helped him to come fight. Like it was a pretty crazy situation. And since everyone decided to make memes, the meme god himself, King Batch, decided to also hop on the trend. And that's when it all went downhill. King Batch decided to make this skit of like him throwing his hat up in the air and like a bunch of black people coming to help him when he had a problem. Because that's kind of what happened in the video in the whole Montgomery Brawl situation. And all the comments were like,
yo, you are garbage. You're a terrible human being. You're annoying. You're corny. Go kill.
I'm not going to finish that sentence. I'm not. But it made me think to myself like, dang, like when did every single human being hate this man King Batch? Like back in 2015, I used to love that man. Like even though now, like yeah, the jokes are they're not that funny, but dog, King Batch was my guy back in 2015. I mean, another situation where I can pinpoint that man King Batch getting hated on is back in 2020, which this situation I thought, oh my gosh, King Batch is a whole idiot for doing this. That man like painted all over himself, like rest in peace George Floyd. He put like the BLM logo on him, like with marker and stuff, and like he put his fist up and made a TikTok about it. It was pretty cringe. And everyone was saying like, yo, how are you gonna say
that's pretty cringe and corny
this when you were making freaking racist jokes back in 2015? Now I'm not gonna lie, King Batch's vines, when you watch them, there's a lot of raccoon behavior, raccoon without the RA. But I feel like a lot of people are forgetting what was in the media back in like 2015. Back in 2015, racist jokes and Vine went hand in hand. Literally all the most popular Vines are probably just some racist joke about black people versus white people, or freaking like some Asian joke or some like Hispanic joke. I mean, a lot of the jokes on Vine weren't clever at all. A lot of them were just dark humor, which not even dark humor, it was just like a stereotype. Now
I mean, back in the day, all of this was normal. Like, all of that was normal back in the day. You know what I mean? So, it wasn't probably viewed as dark humor back then.
Say this right now, there's a difference between dark humor and just being blatantly racist. Like if somebody just says, yo, knock knock, who's there? You're an N-word with the hard R, like I'm gonna be like, okay, that's kind of racist. But dark humor on the other hand, I mean, I feel like if you can make a joke about an Asian person and then the Asian person laughs, I feel like that's dark humor, you know? You make a joke about a black person and the black person is laughing, I feel like that's good dark humor. And I feel like that's a lot of what Vine.
Yo, I feel like that's all culture, bro. I feel like it's all culture, where you grew up, how you grew up, because y'all already know, if you've been following me, I grew up in the Caribbean. I move around a little bit. And from all the places I've been, because I lived in 5 countries, yo. Well, 4 if you count in over like 5-6 years. You feel me? And it's really the culture, bro. It's really the culture. because I grew up in places where, you know what I mean, like, I don't even want to say the examples because it is what it is, you feel me? And some people lack understanding, but for real, if you'll take a minute and listen, it's the culture. There are places where some of this is not even an issue, you know what I mean? Like, not an issue at all. Some people have bigger worries than than what you call them, you feel me? Just letting you know.
Vine was. Like, nobody really cared back then. They just cared about, oh, I'm gonna just say this joke and people are gonna laugh. Like, you never saw anybody drop a think piece on Vine back then when somebody dropped one. And I'm not saying this is right in any way. I'm not saying go up to your black friend and just call him like a monkey or something. But the majority of people on Vine just enjoyed stereotypical jokes. And I think that was just the internet itself. Like, do you guys remember Anwar Jabawi? He was like that Arabic dude. He would always make stereotypical Arabic jokes. Then you got people like Josh Kwondike, who was also making stereotypical Asian jokes. Then you got the white people on Vine making all these stereotypical white people jokes. And then you got the black Viners like Jerry Perp Drink, Daystorm Power, King Batch, all making jokes about black stereotypes. Like, literally, when you think about Vine back then, like, a lot of the black Viners, they would just bank on Jordans, watermelon, and basketball. like that's low-key wild when you think about it. But like I said, like, where did these jokes come from? The media. People were watching South Park, Family Guy, freaking Boondocks. A lot of this stuff was okay back then. Like, back then, dark humor was the key to make somebody laugh. But I think back in like 2018, 2019, and 2020, that's when there was like a whole like 180 turn on dark humor. Like, everyone was like, oh my gosh, stereotypical jokes aren't funny, racist jokes aren't funny. Like, I'm not gonna lie, me myself, like, I don't mind a racist joke here and there. Like, if you're just being blatantly racist, like, I feel like that's different than like dark humor. But if you say a funny joke and it's like well crafted and I'm laughing, I'll be like, yo, what the heck, I was not expecting that, and it's a stereotypical joke, I'm gonna be like, okay, like, I'm gonna give you your props, I'm gonna laugh. But yeah, dark humor was wrong at one point, and I feel like that's when people started like bashing on King Batch, saying that like King Batch was never funny. But if you look back at all those Vines, everyone was doing stereotypical jokes. And just the internet itself, if you look at videos from back in 2015, everyone was saying some racist stuff, some crazy stuff. Call of Duty lobbies, it was acceptable to say freaking slurs and stuff like that. And like I said, I'm not saying that any of this stuff was okay, but it was just the point in time that like people were living. Like, nobody was really getting offended by that stuff, you know? And I feel like now dark humor is doing like a whole 360 because, bro, have you seen IG Reels comments? I know a lot of people don't really scroll through Instagram Reels. They usually scroll through like TikTok or something, but I've been scrolling through IG Reels a lot lately. And one thing I've been seeing are a lot of kids on my like Instagram Reels page. You know how on TikTok back then, like, you would just see like a random kid doing something on TikTok, and like a lot of people just like it because they're like, yo, what is going on? Like, this is kind of funny. Well, that's happening all over again with Instagram Reels. And you go to the comment section and the top comment will say something like, shut up, little nigga. And I'm not saying that that's okay at all. But when you see something like that, you're like, okay, what is going on?
If you use this sound, you will get a lot of likes, but creepy comments. I heard if you use...
You would think that like the comments would be wholesome because it's a little kid just dancing, doing whatever, telling a joke. But the top comment will tell a little kid,
Shut up, little nigga.
like, bro, I'll be like, what the heck? Like, it's kind of funny. And with all that being said, I think the real reason why people hate King Batch so much is because there was no evolution with his content ever since 2015. I mean, the only difference from his Vines back then and his skits now are just the freaking quality. Like, his Vines probably had terrible quality because it was filmed off a freaking iPhone 5C, and now it's getting filmed off a freaking Sony X7 6000 freaking nuclear galactic camera. But there's no difference within like the jokes. Like, the punchlines are all the same. So in conclusion, King Batch is literally just funny to 2015 standards, not 2023 standards, if that makes any sense. I mean, I feel like people are just bored of his jokes, and that's pretty much it. I mean, a lot of his jokes literally just consist of when the watermelon chicken is in your veins. Like, like, bro, what the heck? And also, I feel like King Batch didn't set black people back. Like, I feel like since everybody was making racist jokes back then, I don't really think it set anyone back. I think it was like, okay, now that we look at it from like 2023 standards, it's like, okay, that wasn't okay. Like, that was wild. But to 2015 standards, that was okay in the media. So yeah, that's like my whole opinion on King Batch. Like, I don't hate the man because I don't really know the man or anything, but I understand like the hate around his content, you know? And tell me what you guys think about my take, like, down below, because I feel like a lot of people will agree and some people will disagree. And if you agree, comment below. If you disagree, also comment below and tell me why. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, then I highly recommend you guys check out my most recent video.
All right, gang, so check me out. I took a little second to like really take in what he was saying. I'm gonna comment down below when I'm done with this because I actually like his take. I feel like it was very unbiased, you know what I mean? It started off sounding like it was gonna be biased, and I could still tell a little bit. Well, I feel like I could tell which side he leaning to, you know? But like I say, yo, a lot of this that's going on is really just the culture you in, and like he's saying, the times you in. Because yeah, it was cool or normal back in 2015, but it's not like, oh, as we move through time, our, you know, mindsets just change. It's about the culture that it is what changed. The social
structure is changing. What we accept as norms and taboos in society today is changing. And I mean, you may have your views on it, but it's happening, you know? So I think that's what he was alluding to, and I think this was a very well put together unbiased video. So like I say, gang, I'm gonna put the original down in the description below. Go, you know, comment your thoughts on his video, drop a like, drop a subscribe. If you like my art, subscribe for me too, and I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. All right, bye everybody.